What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about the Ganzo FH21-GY. There it is. I'm going to do a quick unboxing. I did get some people asking me to do a regrind with the Harbor Freight 1x30 belt grinder, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to be doing with this guy right here. So there's the pamphlet. I'm not going to need that warranty card because as soon as I put it on that belt grinder, that's basically canceling the warranty. So see how it flips. This is Blue G10. I believe it's D2. They say it's an HRC of 60. Whether it is or isn't, it's kind of whatever. I'm going to be grinding it anyways, so it actually has a pretty nice action. It's a liner lock, and it flips out both ways. It has a really good thwack, if you will. That's kind of a knife flipping term. Most of you know what that is. It has like a recoil almost when it flips out. And it has a really nice sound when it hits the stop pin. So it is a liner lock. There you can see the liner. So you lock up on it. I'd say it's probably about 30% lockup, roughly, which is pretty early for just like a Chinese made knife. Jimping, it's a little sharp, but nothing that is gonna like skin your fingers or anything. The blade is about a 3.5 inch cutting edge, and it's about a 4-inch blade overall. So yeah, just under. So to the back of the finger choil, so to the back right here, it's 4 inches from this part to the tip, and then the cutting edge itself is like 3.5 inches. The height of the blade is about 7/8 of an inch. The flipper tab is pretty small, which is kind of nice. So I don't think you'll have to worry too much about like getting your hand in your pocket next to it, and it's a deep carry clip, so it's gonna be just that little bit right there revealed in your pocket, so not really much to worry about. And it's a thin profile, it's a skinny knife, so having keys in your pocket too, you're not really gonna have to worry. So it is a flat ground blade, almost a full flat grind. There's just a little bit at the top here that's not. It's got like a swedge at the top. Let's see if we can show that. So there, you should be able to see it. Past the jimping, you have a little swedge, and then it tapers at the tip. So it's a pretty thin knife down by the edge. I'd say it's probably close to like a paramilitary 2 or paramilitary 3. Out of the box, doesn't feel very sharp. But I can't feel a burr, so that's good. I'm sure it cuts, but how well it cuts is a different story. Actually, I have paper right here. Let's see. Paper's not really the greatest test anyways, but Yeah, it cuts like shit. Huh. Maybe I'll have to eat my words. So part of the blade cuts. It's almost like the first half of the blade is not a great cutter, and then the second half is. So maybe it's just how they sharpened it. Yeah, it feels soft right here. Or not soft, but like the edge is not sharp. Like normally this would just cut you. Here I can feel it grab a little bit more. Yeah, that first half is actually pretty sharp. So I'll eat my words for that portion. Centering is good, not great. It is off to the right just a little bit, so it is off this way just a little bit, but not a big deal. Again, this is like a $20 knife, and it actually has pretty good action. So once you get past the liner and the detent, can't tell if there's a ramp or not, or if it's just flat. I think it's just flat. So once you get past the detent, put it right there. I think because it is a bigger knife, it pretty much falls shut. I really like this action. You know what it reminds me of is the Rake P801. Like the way the detent, just the way that it feels, it's not soft, but it's light, if that makes sense. So it has like a good detent on the opening, so that it's like not a soft open, it's a fast, hard open, but it's light on the amount of pressure, if that makes sense, on the close. So you kind of get best of both worlds in that regard, where you have a fast action on the open, but you also get it to drop closed pretty quick. And the P801 again feels just like this. The only difference is I like the flipper and like the jimping and stuff a lot better on this knife than the P801. Nothing against the Rake P801, it's a great knife. So let's get some comparisons. Sorry for this mat being so dirty. It's got black and pink leather dye on it. I made the dog a pink collar, and you know, I got some leather dye on it. So let's do a comparison to the Para 3. Let's line these up. So the handles are similar. The Ganzo's a little bit bigger. The Ganzo blade is significantly longer. I'd say it's about a full inch longer. Let me move it here where the lines are. Actually, it'll go like this. So yeah, it's maybe even a little bit more than an inch longer. The Para 3 cutting edge is 2.5 inches. This is like just barely under 3.5 inches of cutting edge, so about an inch bigger. And the handles are about a 1/2 inch different. The Ganzo's about a 1/2 inch longer. Bring out the Griptilian. I feel like the Griptilian and this are going to be very similar. So let's see. Yeah, they're pretty darn close. So this is about a 7 3/4 inch knife, just under 8 inches, and the Griptilian is like a full 8-inch knife. The blades, let's see. So the cutting edges on these two are basically exactly the same, 3.5 inch. You do get a finger choil back here where the flipper tab is, so I guess technically the blade on the Ganzo is a little bit longer. And then blade height on the Griptilian is obviously bigger. Man, I still can't get over the mirror polish that 154 cm gets. It's just like stupid how polished 154 cm gets. Always been impressed by that. It's a lot like M390. I'd say it probably even takes a better polish than M390, or gets polished easier than M390. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Yeah, this thing dwarfs the Falcon. For any of you guys who like the Ferrum Forge Mass Drop collab stuff, I still have yet to get like a Fortis or Archbishop. That's on the wish list though. Not the Mass Drop, not Mass Drop Ferrum Forge stuff. I mean like their pro models, or I know they don't call it Pro line, but because they got in trouble for that, but I forget what exactly they call it. Pro something. And then Manix 2. Manix 2 is a little bit smaller, but it's obviously a much bigger knife. So let me explain that. So the Manix overall is a much taller, bigger knife, but the Ganzo is longer and skinnier. Actually, skinnier. You know what? I think they're basically identical. Let's see if I can show this. Basically identical in the handle thickness. It's just that the Ganzo pocket clip sticks out maybe just a little bit more. I love this Manix 2 and Maximet. Maximet takes a nice polish too. I mean, all steels will polish to some degree. Some polish nicer than others is what I'm getting at. D2 will take a decent polish. This has a nice satiny shine to it. Yeah, so this will be a cool little project. I'm gonna try to regrind this guy on the Harbor Freight 1x30 and see if we can get a good finish on it. It's probably going to be tough because this is a longer blade, so this is going to be like your worst case scenario for getting a nice finish on a 1x30 grinder on a knife, especially a pocket knife. I had some guys ask about doing that instead of like the 2x72. So I do want to show that it's possible to regrind a knife on a 1x30, especially if you have like decent abrasives, but don't expect it to look like this, like it just came out of the factory, because it's probably not, unless you're really good with a belt grinder, and even then the 1x30 you're limited for the most part with like how good of a finish you're gonna get. The platen is so skinny, and the quality of the grinder is not great. So not to make excuses, I'm gonna try my best, but I'm not a knife maker by any means, but just to see how it does. And then if it's really bad, I'll probably throw it on the Grizzly 2x72 and see if I can straighten it out, but we'll see what happens with it. So this is just a quick overview, first impressions of the Ganzo FH21-GY. Sorry, I probably should memorize that. And so far I really like it. It's kind of a cool knife, especially for such a budget knife. It feels like it's pretty good quality. could see why Patty likes Ganzo so much. You get a lot for the money, that's for sure. I believe this is a ball bearing flipper. I am going to take it apart, but there's little details in this that are nice, like the chamfering on the liner right here. It's things that you'd see in a better quality or more expensive knife. Things that they took care of that normally you wouldn't see. Even the G10, it's contoured. It feels like they thought about how to make this and didn't just throw together like another $20 Chinese piece of crap knife. Like this is a nice knife. Yeah, so far so good. I think it's good that the Chinese brands are putting quality in their knives, you know, to some degree, and I think it makes like the U.S. made knives have to up their game a little bit. The Chinese are really good at copying things. We know that because they do a lot of counterfeits and stuff. But I like that Ganzo has their own brand, and they don't necessarily try to like copy and counterfeit. They just do reproductions of, you know, similar knives, and they call it their own, which is cool. I'd rather see that than you know, take this Pair 3 and throw, you know, the same Spyderco logo, but, you know, really crappy steel, and then try to pass it off as, you know, the Spyderco that it isn't. You know, this is an authentic Spyderco, but that's my only gripe with the Chinese knives. But this is a decent knife, and Ganzo sells a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. It feels a lot like the Rake, the RUIKE knives. It feels a lot like that. That, you know, you're getting good quality at a good price, and you know, without breaking the bank, you get a decent fun little knife. So, all right, guys, this is the project knife with the 1x30 belt grinder. Look out for that video. It probably won't be up for a few more days, but yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I'm gonna do a quick disassembly, so you'll see that up around the same time as this. All right, guys, this is Mike with I Heart Knives. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you already haven't. Leave comments. And Patty, you made a good call on Ganzo. I think they're making decent knives. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one, and thanks for coming along.